Oh shit. We're at GDC. I guess. Hello, Yahtzee Grosjean here at currently sunny San Francisco. I'm here with editor Nick.
Hello everybody.
And we've just been knocking around GDC looking at demos and stuff. First one I saw today was a game called Rara Boom. You weren't there for that. It's a side-on brawly beat-em-up in the Streets of Rage sort of mold about ninja cheerleaders from space who fight robots. Well, we had a look at it and it's about as much as you'd expect. Might have trouble sticking out at the moment when we've had games like Streets of Rage 4 and what was the other one? Shredder's Revenge. That's sort of making a mark on the retro style brawler thing. And the animation in this is good, but it's not Streets of Rage 4 good. They were telling us a big thing about how the story's dealing with lots of interesting themes about really sensitive renditions of mental illness and approaches to grief. So if I were them, I'd lean more into the space cheerleaders fighting robots thing.
Was there any like super unique gameplay elements to it that are like different from most beat 'em ups?
Well, if there's anything that's going to make it stick out gameplay-wise for me, it's that there was a melee and a ranged blended combat, which means it's not just Streets of Rage, it can be a little bit Metal Slug as well. So there's that. Check it out. So what else did we look at that you were there for?
We also got to go check out the Lords of the Fallen. Well, sorry, Lords of the Fallen. I'm moving the from it again.
Yeah, at first it was The Lords of the Fallen, the sequel to, well not sequel to, but the reboot for the original Lords of the Fallen, but apparently now they're dropping the, so now it's just going to be Lords of the Fallen, open brackets, the year it came out, close brackets. But I saw you creaming your pants over this one.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that one. Like, it's from a new developer, Hexworks, under CI Games, the publisher, and they've been working on the Lords of the Fallen. Whoops, Lords of the Fallen. We're gonna do that the entire time for 3 years now on Unreal Engine 5. And honestly, the game I thought it looked really, really good. It was the most From Software looking Souls-like that I've seen that's not from Software, and I thought the level design was incredible.
It was looking very Elden Ringy, wasn't it? They're going for the semi-open world thing of, say, the Dark Souls 1. They've emphasised the semi-open world part of things because they didn't want to get compared to Elden Ring too much. And the unique selling point for this one is that there's two worlds. There's a light world and a dark world. Ooh, never heard of that one before. They were actually doing some interesting visual stuff with it. Like you had a magic lantern that could shine into the Umbra world, they called it. That was how you solve a lot of puzzles and how you get a lot of the weird background storytelling details. Like you'll just turn on the magic flashlight and there was just this huge melting corpse, like 60 stories high, hanging out in the background. It looked like fun. I mean, I've got a bit of Souls-like fatigue, as you know, but I was intrigued.
Yeah, the Umbra thing plays into your death too, so when you die, you don't just restart, you go to the Umbra world and have to fight your way back.
Yeah, I was worried when you said that it was going to be like Prey 2006. Apparently not.
Yeah, well, there's like, I like how they tied the soul system into that, where like there's a big risk-reward access to getting out, and even like they said, it's almost impossible to like just find your way out. Like you have to have get those anchors, and then they're leaning really hard into the discovery aspect too, where like a lot of the stuff in the Umbra world is going. I mean, there's bosses you won't see in the real world, and then you'll see them in the Umbra world. And I think that's gonna like really scratch that nook and cranny, search every corner of the Souls-like fans big time.
Well, I think everyone in the Souls-like genre is trying to find their unique spin on it. Usually, Souls-like meets something or other. And this is Souls-like meets dual world gameplay.
You know, and I like when they were talking about it. First of all, like the lead developer behind it is so enthusiastic about that game. Like he is oozing from the mouth to get this in players' hands. But I really like that, like the entire presentation, gameplay. That's all they focused on, was making the game feel good. Because I feel like a lot of Souls-likes run into that problem of they get the world, they get the art design maybe, but then they never make it feel just as good as From Software's games. And just from the combat alone that we saw, we didn't get our hands on it, but it looked like it played just like a Dark Souls game, and I was all about that.
So if you liked Souls-likes but didn't think it was enough like Metroid Prime 2, here's the game for you. Amnesia the Bunker, which I hadn't heard of until I saw it on the schedule, which is another game by the Amnesia guys. Same devs. It's not like they've just ripped out the team and put a different one in. This one is an unusually gameplay-focused Amnesia game, going by comparisons to previous Amnesia games. It's much less the linear narrative like Amnesia Rebirth was. You're a World War I soldier in a bunker, hence the name, the bunker, and there's like a central hub room, and you have to keep exploring out from there into different parts of the bunker, and it's a very tight, self-contained, almost open world thing. And apparently some vaguely procedural elements, like apparently there's a key in one room I found that was supposed to procedurally generate randomly, but I just found it on the first bed, and they were a little bit pissed off about that. Yeah, sort of more organic monster chasing mechanics. Like monsters, you really can't tell where they are. They're always roaming around. I got eaten 3 times.
The only mechanic I felt like you might get annoyed with is having to constantly recharge your flashlight.
Yeah, that was the other thing. So there's this generator that powers the lights in the whole bunker that has to be continually filled with fuel. And when that runs out, you're just stuck in the dark until you get back. And you've got a pull cord flashlight that turns off after 10 seconds. So you got to continually pull the thing. Maybe they should make a VR version, and then you could power it by cranking it. Yeah, I was trying to spin that into something rude, but it didn't really work out in execution.
Yeah, how'd you feel about the game overall? You seemed to be a bit more engaged than a typical walking simulator for horror games.
Yeah, there was a bit more engagement to it, the whole organic element stuff. But I'd be interested to see how it, because it was trying to do some kind of story, so I was wanted to see how that would unfold in the end. Also, probably wouldn't be a very long game by the looks of it.
It's like 4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours, so there we go. Amnesia the Bunker. Oh, that's the one. We good?